Okay, let's watch this and wait on somebody to show up. Okay, welcome to my first viewer of the day. Uh, Finally figured out what it was. Turns out it was my computer being stupid. Uh, Went to shut it down, and it started to say something about it can't shut down right then for whatever reason, and then it starts shutting down, and it just refuses to shut down. It just sits there cycling. Finally, I had to do a hard shutdown. Do not like doing those. But then it took it a few minutes to come up, and anyway, so yeah, today I went to get my 4-inch grinder that I was going to need because I have to cut some stucco with a diamond blade, and I accidentally left it here earlier. Let's see where I put that. Put it back with my toolbox. I'm not sure which one I put it in. But anyway, I got it for free. Previous maintenance guy left it behind, and it's good. Very, very good. Anyway, he left it behind because it was cutting in and out when he went to use it. He did not know what was wrong with it, so he said, screw this, I'll just go buy me another one. I got it and went to use it and discovered what it was doing. So I was like, okay, I bet you it's the cord where it goes into the grinder or at the plug for the wall. Kill this damn computer yet. What internet am I on? Wow, I'm dropping some major frames here. Anyway, if I can keep this thing from dropping frames, I'll be good. Anyway, yeah. First thing I did was check the cord right there at the grinder. And I started kind of wiggling it around and discovered if I held it right there by the grinder at a certain angle, it worked just fine. So I went ahead and cut the cord off and rewired it and everything, and it works great. But then on the end that goes in the wall, the one of the prongs, I don't know what the guy did to it, but it was kind of messed up when I first started using it, and it finally one of those prongs broke off in my extension cord. But me being as creative as I was, no problem getting it out. Uh, I had an old extension cord, one of those 3 outlet ones, and it wasn't that end was bad, but the wall end was good. So I just cut that off and wired it in, just spliced it. Uh, it's got me through, but the cord that was on there originally was starting to get real bad, so I was like, you know what? I really need to get me a new grinder anyway. But I've been putting it off. Uh, Quite often I wind up, when I'm doing a job, we'll buy materials, and we figured it out to what they should say it takes, and it always winds up being more. Okay, I'm going to get off of that one. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what's going on. I keep showing I'm still connected to the internet, but bear with me. Anyway, it was in pretty rough shape on the grinder, and I wound up having to get a new grinder today. I put it off as long as I could. Um, it, I hate having to do that. Now, I've been looking at the Ryobi cordless grinder for the longest, and I'm like, okay, I've seen the people use the Milwaukee. I don't know how good it is in real life, but it seemed to be decent. Uh, so today I went to Home Depot and Ryobi cordless grinder. The only reason why I was able to get this is because, like I was saying before, my stream cut out on me. Is that doing these jobs, do the math, and it says, okay, this is what you should need minimum. Okay, and I'll order that stuff. No big deal. And it will, I'll get it and use it, and I use everything down to the last bit when I do like laminate wood flooring. And it'll say, okay, it should take you 15 boxes or 15.1 boxes to do this, and you have to get 16 boxes. And what happens is, because of the way I'm very finicky about my cuts and stuff, I wind up not needing that one extra box. I'll throw it in the storage room, and I do that with all sorts of stuff. And I took a bunch back today, and it was enough to pay for this one, this grinder, and then some. I wasn't sure how well this was going to be for what I need it for, and it does okay for what it is. An 18-volt grinder isn't going to have a lot of power, and that's what I discovered with this. I had to grind through a couple of those one-way screws that hold up the burglar bars on the window. I'm changing out a window, and that's over it. So I'm grinding. I wind up wearing the battery down to dead, and I still have one screw to go. Okay, so I was like, okay, I've only got the one battery on me, and this sucks. But I got the same one, but it's on a cord. So it's actually the smaller of the two they have that's on a cord. And first thing I discovered, it was missing the guard and that hand grip. I'm actually using the hand grip that goes with the cordless. They use the same hand grip. Now, the cordless, and I'm going to discuss it with you. I've had the battery on the charger for a little bit, so I'm going to show you. It's not the best setup. I've not been. Okay, I guess I turned the mic down and didn't realize it. Okay, what am I on? Why did it keep dropping so bad? I'm not sure what's going on. Fucking crap. we're going to disable. Okay, I'm back. My internet's being crazy today. Anyway, I'm going to have to reset my Wi-Fi. I'm getting a very, very weak signal with that. So I switched over to my Ethernet. And that makes a difference. Yeah. Crazy stuff. But anyway, I just realized that apparently my microphone has been turned off or put on mute for a little bit. And nobody even messaged me and told me. So anyway, got the cordless grinder, and I like it. It's handy when you're doing light duty stuff, light grinding, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to doing heavier stuff, it just can't do it. Versatility wise, I love it because I can be anywhere and use it. I don't have to worry about running a cord. But it's not very strong as far as that goes. I do like it, like I said, because I can take it anywhere. I took the guard off because I was going to use it on the other grinder because it didn't come with it. But this one here uses a 3-pin setup to put the guard on or lock the guard on. And the other one uses a 2-pin. It does have for the handle, which is on the other grinder that I pulled up a minute ago that you couldn't hear me talking about. Now, this grinder is actually pretty decent. It's got a hole where you normally would see one on each side for your handle, which is, it's nice to have that option. I've seen some of them before in the past on other grinders. It only has the one side. So I think it's been on the left. So if you use your left hand to hold the trigger, you can't use your hand unless you're reaching over like this, or you're doing it like this. So thankfully this here is one of those that has the dual handle. I am ambidextrous, which means I can do it either way. It doesn't bother me. I favor my left hand for doing stuff like this, for like holding onto the handle. But this has one more little thing that I do like. And I've never seen this on a grinder before. It has a handle there. And the cool thing is it's a common thread, so that if I want to use this thing on, clamp this thing down to my table and use it as a kind of a handheld or like a bench grinder or something, I can just put a bolt into where the handle will go and then just use something to hold the trigger down, and I'm good to go. Not advisable, but I can do it. I do like that. Another cool thing, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here for now while I do this. Okay. I wonder how many of you have noticed that when you get a bench or a angle grinder like this, the wrench you have to put in a box or carry it in your tool belt or whatever. This one here has a little pocket in the handle that holds the wrench for it. And it's a very snug fit, so it's not going to fall out. I mean, it ain't moving. So I am very happy with it. It does work good. It has the interlock, which I like having that. It makes it safer for you. Like I was saying, the guard is on the other grinder. Right off the bat, you can tell it's not as strong as a corded grinder, just by listening to the motor, but it has kind of a growlish sound coming from the gearbox up here at the top. And that leads me to believe they didn't put much grease in there. So I will probably, in the near future, wind up opening that up. It uses 4 Allen head screws and putting some grease in there. And I will use some very good grease. Today, just to grind through 2 bolt heads, no, 3 bolt heads. I made it through 3 barely. Well, actually 2.5, 2 3/4. And by the time I got done with that, because of how much grinding I've been doing, and I've been kind of putting a little force into it, drained the battery very, very quickly. I've done a lot of stuff with one of these batteries and not had it go dead that fast. But things like the cordless skill saw, that drains them very quickly and makes them get warm. I don't like when they get warm like that, but what can you do? The gearbox up here, now that got nice and toasty. I did not like that. So I am going to be talking with Ryobi about their issues with theirs, because the amount of grinding I was doing, I don't think that should have gotten that hot. But who knows? Ryobi has always done me right when I've had an issue with one of their tools like that. I just tell them what's going on, and they usually will send me a replacement tool. And then they'll send me the box to ship them the old tool back to them. That makes a big difference when that happens. I just noticed one of my cameras is down. While I was waiting on this thing to come up, I went and tried something, but oh well. Like I said, it's slightly anemic, but I think Ryobi will do me right. I've actually had them with one tool that was messed up. They were like, don't even worry about it, don't send us the tool, we're just going to ship you a new one. And that was a big surprise. So, but then comes this grinder here. Now, they had 2 sizes of this grinder that has the cord on it. Okay, I got the 5.5 amp. I think the other one was a 6.5 amp grinder. Let me see. Somebody tried to call me. I didn't even hear the phone ring. Let me go to the Home Depot app. Okay, I'm pulling up the information now. Okay. This thing is slow because I'm actually on Wi-Fi. Let's see. No, it's on Home 2.4, and that is a slow frequency. So let's go back now. Open up Home Depot app. Let's see what it does. I don't like how my internet's been today. So let's try it again. It's just not cooperating. There we go. Okay, yeah, they have a 5.5 and a 6.5. And the 5.5 amp was $29.97 plus tax. Plus they had the extended warranty program for it, and that's like, I think, I know the cordless, which was $39.95, I think it was. Oh, they even have well, it's not in store. I'm going to store and show what they've got there. Dang it. This thing here. I always hit the back button on this thing. Okay, they did have a 7.5 amp by 4.5 inch angle grinder. The One Plus, which is a 4.5 inch angle grinder, is $39.97, the same as the 6.5 inch corded version. I got the 5.5 for $29.97. Save that few extra dollars. Like I was saying, guard was missing, handle was missing. But this thing here, even though it's only, a few amps, it's a 5.5 amp setup. It's actually decent. It has a trigger lock. You can't accidentally push the trigger on the side. To do that, you have to push down on this side and then push it forward, and then you can tilt it forward again, and it'll back to the front, and it'll lock it in the on position. When you're setting up to grind, you can do that on accident, and then something happens, and you wind up dropping the grinder, and it's still running. That's the part I don't like about that. The switch is definitely pretty stout. It too has the 3-hole handle setup, so definitely worth it. I actually gave it a little bit of a trial today, a decent trial after I did the grinding on the screws, and I was getting on those bolt on the grinder pretty decent, and it wasn't phasing it at all. Turn around after I got done getting those bars off, and I went ahead and started cutting the stucco for the new window that's going in, because somebody put the wrong sized window in years ago. It was a violation of fire code. Fire code says the window has to be 6 foot wide, which means it has to have a 3-foot opening. And whoever put the window in there put a 4-foot wide window in there that was 4 foot tall, and the 4 foot tall didn't hurt, but the 2 foot narrower could have gotten us fined. We weren't aware it was against fire code until somebody else pointed out, and they said, hey, that's against fire code, you need to change that window out. And that was because something else that was going on and everything, so that's why I'm doing the windows. Sucks. Tomorrow I will try and get you guys some video footage. I wanted to do it today, but I really didn't get much time to do any work at all, much less do any video recording. And I want to get you guys something. Frustrated as heck. Now, one thing I did do while I was there is whenever I go to carry like my extension ladder on the roof of the van, I have a 28-foot fiberglass extension ladder. I don't have a rack on the roof of my van. It's a simple Dodge Caravan. I just pick it up and sling it up on the roof real quick and run a couple of straps and catch whatever I can to strap it down to. And it works, but it's not ideal. But today, while I was at Home Depot and I had a couple dollars left from returning stuff, I happened to notice these little hooks. And I'm like, I like that. And they're a 300-pound working load. And I'm not putting 300 pounds of force on these. No way, no how. But I went ahead, and because the way I'm doing it would have 600 pounds of tie down force available roughly. Doing the math like that, so it'll be helpful. These will not be bolted to the van frame. I will actually have them welded, and that will give me a lot of strength doing it like that. So I'm going to be doing that probably this weekend. I do not work weekends anymore for anybody else. I've done something I should have been doing a long time ago, and I'm doing what I've recommended to Paul he do, Paul and Kathy Short. Uh, After he had his heart attack, I'm like, dude, you need to take the weekends off and just putter around, do little things around your house that you just want to do, but you just never have done. Don't work yourself to death. So I'm sitting here, I'm being hypocritical because I'm telling him he should be doing that. And it's really his choice whether or not he listens to me, but it's hypocritical because I'm not doing that. I'm just sitting there and working myself to death and not getting anything done that I need to do for myself. So I was like, nah, it's gotta be this damn software. Really? POS. There we go. It's got to be my editing software cutting out like that or something. Anyway, the only time I will be doing work for anybody else like that is if I feel like it, I don't have anything else to do and I want to go out and do something, or it's an emergency like the sewer backing up over here. Something like that, yeah. If I want to go and chill with my homeboy down the street and work on his car and work on getting it running, yeah, I'm going to be doing that. I'm not going to just sit around the house doing nothing if I don't feel like it. And I feel it'll help me a lot physically and emotionally because I've been very frustrated very, very easily here lately. So we'll see how that goes. Another note, I have a power supply for this video camera. It'll power this video camera, but the problem I'm having is, I don't know if, let me see if I can get it on camera. I'm going to adjust that camera over a little bit so it catches that way some more. Let me see here. And if anybody has an idea of how to figure that out, feel free to let me know, and I will let you know how old it is. But anyway, I don't have a charger for the battery, but I do have a power supply. And I have played with it. It uses, yeah, the VHS-C cassettes. I'm not using it for that. I'm using it as a monitor, or as a just simple camera monitor for a monitor. But anyway, I'm hoping that I can figure it out because I had, and it's aggravated me no end, I've been looking for it. I had a cable, that kind of cable, and I have the adapter right here that would connect to that kind of cable, but no cable. Can't find the cable. So My luck is I went on eBay and found another cable, and it'll be a week before it gets here, is their estimated delivery date. Now, I don't like that. They're saying the 22nd, and I'm hoping it gets here sooner. They did mark it as shipped today, which means they got the order processed and sent out, or it's sitting there waiting for the post office to pick it up. They didn't get it processed until after the mailman had run by, so it probably won't be out till tomorrow, but it'll take about 3 or 4 days to get here from New York. So what can I do? Yeah, I'm drinking something different. An old lady took a friend to Starbucks, and friend bought uh, drinks for us, and so I'm drink. I just finished up mine. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm trying to make the channel better. It's costing me a little bit of money that I don't want to spend, but what can you do? After I finish with these two windows, I'll probably get $250, maybe $300 for doing all that. And I know the boss man ain't gonna like that, but well, that's actually still cheaper than having somebody come in and do it. That's a contractor. But yeah, this guy is not using his head. You know, there's periods where, you know, if he was paying me a set amount monthly, it would benefit him big time. You know, paying me monthly and paying me, you know, 1,200, 1,300 a month, then yeah, it would benefit him dramatically, because I've actually had months where I've actually, for all the work that he had to have done in different buildings and all, he wound up paying me, you know, 22, 2,300. And then there's months where it would have benefited me better because there's only been, you know, $300 or $400 worth of work needing done, which is more common. But yeah, I've tried to be nice and cut him slack and give him the best price and everything, and it's like, no, you're not doing me right. I'm not going to do you right anymore. You know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. He does stupid stuff. I mean, most apartment owners, they have somebody living there taking care of the maintenance and the management and whatnot. They give them a discount on their rent or completely comp them their rent, and they just pay their utilities. Not with him. Nope, you got to pay the full amount on your rent. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. So that's going on. I mean, it's just one thing after another. So I'm just getting frustrated, and I'm actually starting to cut back on my work for him too. I mean, I've got people wanting me to do work for them left and right, and that's why I'm trying to get this window done and get this apartment done, is so that we can get that rented, and I'm done with that. And then I'm just kind of stepping back. I'm doing little side jobs for him instead, and I'm focusing on working for other people. And he doesn't want me to do that. I don't care. You don't run my life. I work for who I want to work for. You can't handle it, oh well. Uh, it's just, he doesn't use his head. And I've gotten tired of it, so yeah, it's time to start doing work for other people that are willing to pay me right. Uh, I did, I know I mentioned a minute ago, and I'm going to be cutting this video off in a minute, A few minutes ago, I made a comment about I noticed one of my cameras isn't working. It's not the camera's fault. We got these LED infrared floodlights for our camera system because we have some areas where the cameras are so far away that the infrared night vision LEDs that are built into it can't illuminate the area. So we're having an issue with that. But we ordered 2 of them as a trial, and I set one up, and I'm going to be moving it ultimately because I like how it's doing. But the other one I plugged up, and it's not doing anything. Matter of fact, it's got a direct short inside of it. So I'm probably going to open it up and take a look and see what's going on. I plugged it up. I thought, well, maybe the wire I used has a bad spot in it, shorting out. So I ran a different cord out there a little while ago and plugged it up, and nope, it's still shorting out. But it's going to the power supply that the one camera is on up there, so when that happens, I lose that camera. So I've got to figure that out. I will probably cheat and take that down, and where'd I put it? I know I've got some more of them in here. I'll probably take that one down and put a cheap bullet cam up again. Where the heck did I just put that? I just had it. Oh well. Anyway, I have these bullet cam things that I got, and they seem to work pretty decent. But what I'll do is I'll take one and just use it for the LEDs, or for the infrared light, and it'll help with illuminating that area some, so that I can have that where I can see in there again. Because up there at the front, there's just not enough light at all, and I don't like it. But yeah. So for now, peace out, and I will catch you on the flip side here soon. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And like I said, you know of anything I can do to make the video better, my streams better, anything like that, the live feeds, anything. And just tell me. I have a few ideas. I've seen it done before. Let me grab something right quick. Okay, I'm back. Now, I've seen this done before on a few other people's feeds, and I'm thinking about doing it on mine. Who would like to see what would happen to this SpeedPack 5100 mAh nickel metal hydride battery? Who would like to see me do something to one of these? Drive a nail in it, a screw, maybe even open one and see what it looks like. Because I kind of have an idea of what's in there already. So if you'd like to see me do something with this, put it in the comments on the end of the video after I finish streaming so I can see it, or even in it, I don't care. Just put it in there where I can see it, and if you really want to see it or anything, let me know. And we'll see what we can do from there. I have a handful of those, so no big deal. Until then, I will catch you on the flip side.